Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here with a kit review. Another kit review, I should say. This one's from my mate Paul, who's thinking about buying this kit. I said I'd do my kit review so I see what he's going to get for his money. So as you can see, it's a MiniArt kit, and the kit number is 35229. And it's basically, it's the 8.5cm Sturmgeschutz. Basically it's the Su-85 being captured by the Germans. Nice artwork again as normal. I do like their MiniArt artwork. It's quite nice. It's quite a heavy box. You get 5 crew figures with it as well. So let's have a look on the sides of the boxes. We just have the normal sort of run-of-the-mill. Let me see if I can. That's about right. Just pull that back slightly. There we go. Just the same on the side. There's the kit number again, 35229. Obviously 135 scale. So on the one side we have quite a few colour call-outs of the German captured vehicle. It's quite a six sort of, you know, variants of what you can do. So that's quite impressive. And on the other side we just have the usual sort of gumph. You know, English, Russian, I think that's Ukrainian, I think, if I'm mistaken. It looks like it. So there's nothing on the back. So let's out without further ado, let's open the box. I say, I've had this in my stash quite a while. I never did a kit review, and I don't know why, but I've had it in my stash quite a while. So as you can see, it's never been touched as such. Let's just put that out of the way, and we'll start off with the instructions. As you can see, it's a lovely coloured brochure. Colour fantastic. The general instructions just telling you, you know, what's this, that and the other, and you get all the colour call outs again inside, which is a real nice touch. And you're getting the side view, the rear, the front and over the top, which is good. A lot of these companies don't do the top view. They haven't done this one saying that. But obviously that's only green, so it makes no difference really having the top view. And there again, we've got another variant there, and then we have the and then we have the other variant there as well. And then we have the sprue map with all the relevant sprues, and then we start off with the low hull. Obviously it's not a bathtub, it's one that's built up, very reminiscent to the T34 suspension on the insides. When you build them up, obviously there's certain ones that go in certain holes, obviously you've got to check that. The builds, obviously this is the sub builds here for those, and then we have the side of the tank to go on, and then we're starting off with the suspension arms, which are 2-piece, which I've never seen that before the kit. Yeah, that's quite nice. And there's a little bit of interior detail, I think, in the inside. They look like seats. Yeah, they are the seats by the looks of things in there. Didn't realise it could be an interior kit, never checked that. And then again with a few hatches to be built. Into a bit of interior, there's a bit of interior in here, a little bit, not a great deal. And we're starting off with a low hull, and then we're starting off with a breech for the gun muzzle, so the mantlet, and then obviously ammunition boxes, PE clamps, which is a nice touch. And then we're putting on the wheels, obviously sub-built, and then the wheel. You have to wait a minute, Tess. Eh? And then we're starting off again with the back. These are all photo etched as well. The grills for the back, for the rear. Yeah, and then we've got the starting on the upper hull again. Carrying on with the upper hull, all the bits and pieces. The photo etched grill cover, the engine cover, and then we're attaching the upper hull to the lower hull. And then the rear plate, tow cables. I missed the tracks. It's gone straight to the tracks from there, is it? Oh yeah, it's another individual tracks, 36 each side, which is nice. I'll have to look at them when we get into the kit. And we're obviously putting the tracks on, and then more upper hull assembly. Obviously the mud guards at the front. Hatches on the top of the tank, photo clasps again for the photo edge clasps for the shovel and for the tow hook. and then the extra fuel drums on the back. More PE for the lights at the front. Are these the lights? Are these parts for the... looks for the side suspension. Oh no, for the... sorry, my apologies. For the spare tracks we have photo etch on there, which is nice. And then we go on to the crew figures, which are nicely detailed. Nice colours. Nice colour call out again. Figures. And then we have the other two colour call outs for the German captured vehicles again. So, and then the last one on the back. So it's quite a nice, very nice brochure. A very nice brochure indeed. And I like the colour call outs, as you know by now. And then we come with the first sprue. We have lots of clear parts. We have the decals, which are produced by MiniArt themselves. Obviously we have the flag there with no swastika, obviously, but we can soon overcome that if we decide to do that version. But they're not too bad. Play on the shiny side, but not too bad at all. Like I say, I've got most of these. I use a stencil now, so if I dig when I get round to building this kit, I probably won't use any of these. Yeah, nice details. And then we have the photo etch, which is just sliding out of there, which is nice and thin. Yeah, quite obviously we've got all the clasps and the engine grille, like I said before. All the bits and pieces. Which is nice and thin. Yeah, I like that. It just sits in there, so we'll pop that back in there so we don't lose the smaller pieces. And the clear pieces. And then obviously we have the decals in there as well. So, let's go for the first sprue we come across. It's all in one bag. Let's see, how much did I get? How long have I got this for? I got it from Black Op Models, and I paid 27 quid for it, including delivery. Yeah, 27 quid. Nice. Right, so they're all in one big bag, which I'm not overly keen on, but let's have a look what's inside. Hopefully they'll be all individually. Yeah, it's just the top sprues that aren't quite long sprues. There's quite a bit of plastic in here, so let me just take the bag off for now, and then we'll work our way through it all. So the first is the figures, which don't look too bad. Quite nice detail on them. There's no flash. I said quite nice details on those. Turn it around that way, maybe we'll see better if we turn them that way. Not bad at all. Quite nice. And we have what the head's like. Facial expressions aren't too bad. At least they're slightly different and not all Gerenic. Gerenic? How we pronounce that word. Yeah. A few little bits and bobs in there with it, machine gun and obviously the helmets and things. Yeah, generally speaking they're not bad little figures then, not bad at all. So there's no sprue, obviously we're starting with the tank stuff now, which is nicely detailed again, so there's no flash. No, nice details again on the rear plate. Nice risen bolt heads. And then we have the ammunition boxes, the lids for the ammunition boxes. Side the ventilation grills by the looks of it on the side of the tank, or the engine deck, sorry. The obligatory Russian saw. So the front of the tank. Yeah, yeah, that's the very front, obviously where you got your tow hooks to go to into there. Nicely detailed. Yeah. Yeah, not bad at all. Quite impressed with that. So that's another sprue. And there's another sprue which we're starting off with the front gun mantle and a bit of the breech. It's very nice. That's very nice indeed. That's lovely. It's got nice cast texture on, as you can see. Very nice. And the barrel is slide moulded, which is nice. Another nice touch. Don't know why most companies don't do slide moulded barrels nowadays. Maybe part of the gun breech. Some hatches. Little bits and pieces. That's a shovel, obviously. Nice again. No stupid injection marks where there shouldn't be. A bit of a detail. Yeah, quite nice. Quite nice. Right, and then we have to do another bag to open. Yes, individual bags inside each one. Well, you know what I mean. This one, let's just pull all this out here. Again. Always in one bag, which I'm not overly keen on, but nothing I can do about it. So, I didn't realise that was all in there. There's quite a lot of plastic in this kit, I must admit, quite a lot. Right, we'll start off with this sprue. We have a few of the suspension springs that go on the inside. Well, nicely detailed, obviously the toe hooks there. The suspension arms, fuel drums. So probably the return idler. Oh yeah, there we go. All the nice bits and pieces. Nicely moulded, yeah, really crisp, really crisp moulding. And that's the front of the return idler, which is nice. All nicely moulded. And then we have two sprues the same again with the rest of the fuel drums and a few of the suspension parts. All nicely moulded again. So put that in there. And then we have a lot of the upper hull here. Yeah, a lot of the upper hull. Which is nice, nicely detailed. Which is the front, which is the rear? That must be the front. Yeah, that's the front. That's the front of the tank. I don't know if I'm going to have to check see if there's any texture supposed to be on there. If not, I'll build it up. I'm not too sure. But you can see a bit of the texture again on there, on that part there. The rear engine block by the looks of it. So the engine deck with the side plates to build up the upper hull. I think that's the rear, and obviously that must be the front of it. Yeah, that's on the front because there's all the parts to go on there. You can see clearly the weld seams, which is a nice touch. I do like that. Lots of small sprues, individual sprues with wheels and things like that on. Wheels are nicely detailed, very nice. Even the rear, nicely detailed as well. So there's quite a few of those. We can get rid of all those as we go along. Then we have another large sprue. I don't know what that part is. Probably something to do with the exhaust. Again, it's all slide moulded as well. Yeah, it's the exhausts. Hollow at the end, but which is nice as well. And then we have the lower hull. You know, see it isn't a bathtub, it's a built up one, which is looks nice. There's not really much to see on the sides, but most of it will be built up. That's for the transmission. A few engine hatches, covers and hatches. And this is an option. They got the, you know, if you didn't want to put the photo etch, you can use that. And there's the photo etch for the grills there, which is nice. I do like that. And then we have the most of the upper hull. The rear end of the upper hull, I should say. And then we've got the front part to sit onto here. Nice, very nice. Nice detail on there as well again. Very nice. Very nice detail. And that's the inside. So that you know, you got that sort of. That's the inside of the bathtub. Well, it's not the bathtub, the lower hull. When I get around to building this, I might build this very shortly actually. I forgot all about this kit, to be honest. And just to see how much interior is actually in it. Yeah, so we have couple of sprues here with more wheels, more idlers, or there must be a few obviously with all the different variants in there. All the caption ones must be slightly different, but there again, nicely moulded again. And on the rear, there we go, there we go. And again in the rear. So there's two of those. Let's get rid of all these wheels out of here. It's just the only thing I'm not too happy with is all these loose sprues that could damage each other, but it's not a major issue. Not a major issue. Oops, sorry about that. Right, and then we can start off with the tracks which come next. We've got quite a few different... Why have they done this? They've got tracks on sprues, which are nicely detailed though. Nicely detailed. See, there's one come off there already, it must be in the box. I presume it's come off there. Nope. Yeah, no pin marker, pretty plain on the inside. These are, see, these are all the guide horn ones. Solid guide horns, I'm not too sure they were solid. That's something we'll have to look at. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sprues of those. So there's 8 sprues there. Ones with the guide horns, and then we have 2 in a plastic bag, which is just the normal part of the tracks. Again, nicely detailed. You know, you can quite see that, quite nicely detailed. There's no injection mark, which is nice again. Build it to a nice track. And with all the little bits and pieces again we have in here. It's just, which we have the toe hook, sorry, a toe cable, which is plastic. It's fairly straight, so I don't know if it's going to be moulded or bent. I'm not too sure. We'll cross that bit when we get to it. Nice detail again, small, nice, finely detailed parts. So there's no flash on these really quite small parts. I think there's 1, 2 sprues of that. Is it 2 sprues of those? Yep, there's 2 sprues of the same there. And then we have more suspension things and more wheels again, more idlers and things. All nice. No flash, no injection marks where there shouldn't be. Really nice kit. Obviously that's one of the reasons why I bought it, but it's just one of those I've put in the cupboard and forgotten about until Paul said he was thinking about buying it. So I bought that one. I said I'll do your kit review if you want. And jumped at the chance. So there's 8 sprues of the tracks. And we have more, which we've seen these obviously with the suspension arm and the fuel drums, we've seen those. And then we have more little bits and pieces, more springs, wheel hubs, other small pieces. And that's the proper side, obviously. Clasps there for the oil drums, I presume. Looks like it. And then we have another. That's the outer gun mantlet, which is nicely detailed. Again. And as you can see, it's got the cast texture. Let's just bring it out slightly. The cast texture again, another nicely detailed part. And then we've got some more of the. We've had that one. This is the only thing I'm not too keen on is all these little individual sprues, which is I've seen a lot of these. Yeah, we have individual grab handles. Again, I do like it this way, so you've only got that one cleaning point there really to do, because if you snip it off properly you can be, you know, you won't have to worry about them other ones. But yeah, there's 2 of those. And some more larger grab handles, again the same sort of thing. Got 4 points on this one, but 2 of them you should be able to snip off near enough, and then we ought to place them straight onto the upper hull. 2 of those. I've seen that. See a lot of these are repetitive sprues. And there's another sprue actually. I don't think it's actually missing. I think that's a separate part. They look like track pins. of some description. I said I thought the part would come off, and looking at it again, I don't think they are. Yeah, because it's number 2 and their F1 is the tracks, so that must be like track pins or something like that. But yeah, generally speaking, nice little kit, inexpensive. I paid £27 for it, or $26.99, $27.99. It's only $27.99. It's quite a lot of plastic for the pennies. So I hope that helps you out, Paul. Hope it makes your decision a bit easier. So I'll just say thank you very much for watching, and thank you all my subscribers, new and old. Keep watching, keep the positive comments or any negative comments, I don't mind. I'm here to listen, and some really good positive comments and comments that help me along the way, which is nice. I do like that. That's what we're here for, to share things amongst ourselves. We don't want to be going to the dark side, do we? Keeping all our own things and not sharing. But that's some people. That's certainly not me. So anyhow, getting way off track. So this is Greg signing off. We shall see you soon.